everyone, my name is The Catcher, and welcome back to another episode of Pikmin 2. In the last episode, we started taking a look at some of the treasures we found, and today, we're going to finish it off, and hopefully, and maybe even have time to look at the Piklopedia. So if you guys are excited, make sure to click like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it. I want to take a look at all of the treasures I've gotten that I haven't taken a look at yet, including the massive lid. When people study mysterious objects, they tend to overthink everything and get easily stumped. For example, this is just a lid, or is it? Well, it is a lid, and it's for Yoo-Hoo Cola. Yoo-Hoo, before it was like Yoo-Hoo's like milk, like chocolate milk. It was a soda back in I would say as early as the 70s or 80s, and the only reason I know that is because I love antique retro items, so I did massive research on stuff like this as a kid. Now, I could be wrong, and Yoo-Hoo Cola was way back before then, and let me know if I'm incorrect. But it's pretty cool. This makes me think of back in the day when I was a kid. We had this area in where I live called the Dilly Dally, which may be hinting at where I live. I live in Virginia, but I'm not going to say where I live in Virginia. And this store was, at the time, famous for its barbecue, because it had really good barbecue sandwiches. And as a kid, I would go fishing for a little bit, because at the riverside, because we lived like right next to the riverside, and back then it was legal to fish during certain hours. Like, you could go out there, throw a line out, and catch a fish in the river, and the game warden wouldn't be right on your butthole. Nowadays, if you go cast a line out right there, you'll have a fine faster than you could think straight. But back in the day, when we were kids, we would always go out and fish for a little bit. We would catch and release, and it'd be great. I'd get off the school bus, I would go grab my fishing pole, go with a couple of friends of mine and go fish, to take my mind off the fact that I had an abusive family. And we would fish, and then we would go to the Dilly Dally. And at the time, which was like, I don't know, 2002, 2003, like, you only had to pay $1 for one of these little cans of, or not a can, but like a glass bottle of Coca-Cola, and maybe $3 or $4 for a barbecue sandwich. Like a little barbecue sandwich with some meat, barbecue sauce. You could put like ketchup and mayonnaise if you wanted. I usually liked like mayonnaise because it tasted good for some weird reason. But it was really good, and they just announced that they opened it back up. Which is really cool, and it means that I'm definitely going to be going there a lot. You know? So that's just a cool little catcher backstory for you. Let's take a look at the happiness emblem. When you grow up and get a job, your time doesn't belong to you anymore. Yeah! To make up for that, you have to learn to appreciate the simple pleasures in life. I completely agree. Looking at this pattern we found today makes me feel a little less miserable. This is today's simple pleasure. I couldn't agree more. The Drought Ender. Today, I delivered an impromptu lecture on the basics of wilderness survival. As Louis' superior, it is my responsibility to teach him these skills. Walking around as much as we do generates an intense thirst, so water becomes very important. I told Louis that we have to ration our water carefully. That's what I was thinking until I found this. I was so parched that I couldn't help myself. I drank all the water in the canteen. It tasted so good, but when I turned around, Louis gave me a cold stare. Yeah. Fascinating. If I keep staring at the symbol, I know I'll come up with a brilliant idea for a new product. Yeah, Royal Crown Cola was cola that was, I think they actually still distribute it in LA. There's like an old antique soda place where they buy the rights to all the ingredients, and like you're able to buy the colas from back in the day, which I think is pretty cool, and it's a really cool like antique thing that they didn't have to do. The interior of this hemisphere contains a chip coated with charts detailing a new region. I explored this forest the last time I was here. By the way, he's referencing the Forest of Hope or the Awakening Woods. But it's clear that it has undergone some dramatic changes. The plants and animals have also evolved significantly. I've given this forest a new name, the Awakening Wood. I must begin to form a hypothesis to explain why the forest changed so rapidly. Today we searched a subterranean lair, swarming with carnivorous bugs. The name Hole of Beasts immediately came to mind. The convenient contraption I found there has an invaluable treasure-seeking tool. When it approaches a piece of treasure, the gadget beeps and the needle moves to the right. When all the treasure in the area has been collected, the device powers down. When we left Hawkgate, I thought we'd never pay off the company's debt. Thanks to this gadget, I'm feeling optimistic about the outcome of this daring mission. I'd love to lay down in the grass, bask in the sun, and take an afternoon nap. But with all these Pikmin following me, I can never seem to relax. I should remember to press X to dismiss them, and hold X to take a nap. The last time I tried it, the Pikmin picked me up while I slept and carried me away to their onion. Hold your space horses, Pikmin. I am not a pellet or a piece of treasure. Then I woke up. Great galaxies. It was all a dream, wasn't it? Oh, gosh. I found this marvelous alloy in a hole swarming with bulborbs. On that adventure, I even clashed with an Emperor Bulblax. In honor of my triumph over this appallingly obese beast, I named this hole the Bulblax Kingdom. Yeah, then we'll take a look at the dream material. This is yet another object I have recently discovered that is beyond my wildest dreams. It doesn't conduct electricity, and it can erase marks left by pencils with remarkable ease. Sadly, the more you use it, the more it rubs away to oblivion. In a way, it reminds me of my job. Whoa! That's depressing. Well, I think we've taken a look at all the treasures that we can. But next time on Game Catchers, unfortunately, we will be returning to the Awakening Wood. So I will see you guys then. Goodbye!